Right now, a Fitchburg representative wants answers from Speaker Robin Vos after Vos says he won't make accommodations for his disabilities.
And we go inside the courtroom as the Quintez Cephas trial begins, how the defense and prosecution are building their cases. Straight ahead.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. We do start tonight with a story that continues to get a lot of attention. A state representative from Fitchburg is hoping the Assembly Speaker changes his mind.
Speaker Robin Vos told Representative Jimmy Anderson that he could not make accommodations for his disability. Amy Reed joins us now to explain what Anderson is asking and what might come next. Amy?
Representative Jimmy Anderson is paralyzed from the chest down. That means he uses a chair to get around. He has people that help him from the start of the day until he goes to bed. But it doesn't change his ability to be a representative.
I think it's just a reasonable accommodation. You know, for me being a quadriplegic, there are certain things that come with this disability that require accommodation.
There are three things that could make second-term Representative Jimmy Anderson's job easier, but one he asked for, being able to call into committee meetings from home, Speaker Robin Vos said no. He called it disrespectful to the people taking the time to come down in person.
What I think is disrespectful is making it harder for me to be the best representative I can be for the 47th Assembly District and for the people of Wisconsin.
Anderson said the accommodation is reasonable. He said he requires help for things that might be easy and commonplace for other people, and those need to be planned. His requests play into that. One, no overnight sessions that require him to stay in his chair longer than is healthy. Two, rescheduling during reasonable hours and with enough time for him to get there. And three, allow him to call into meetings if he can't get there in time. The latter is already allowed in the state Senate. He said he doesn't get why Vos won't let it happen here.
I do this job just as well as anybody else. I might need a little extra help from time to time, but it doesn't make me any less of a representative, any less of a person.
Anderson said he does have a case to sue the state under the Americans with Disabilities Act, and there's a precedent for situations such as these. He said he doesn't want to do that to the taxpayer if instead Speaker Vos could come around. We reached out to Vos today, but did not hear back.
Prosecutors started their case this morning in the trial of former Badger football player Quintez Cephas. He's accused of sexually assaulting two women in April of last year. One of the accusers, along with two police officers, took the stand today. The woman spoke about feeling drunk that night, then not remembering much until she woke up in her bed. She says her friend was next to her and they were assaulted.
She sends the Snapchat message, raped, my phone is gonna die, I just got raped, I don't know what to do.
A young white female had accused Quintez, who was a well-known, popular black athlete at the University of Wisconsin. A story we've all heard before. But the facts of this case don't support that stereotype.
The defense called one of the accusers the, quote, organizer and promoter of a consensual threesome and said the woman was not drunk enough to be incapacitated because of video showing them walking normally. However, one of the officers says the accuser looked extremely intoxicated at the hospital when he was interviewing her. The trial will continue tomorrow.
A storm relief center is now open in northern Wisconsin for anyone struggling to get back on their feet after storms earlier this month. It's the first time a Conto County Health and Human Services Department has done something like this. That center will be open for the next couple of days. No storms to worry about in our area today. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield is in to let us know if the first alert forecast has any severe weather in store. Dave?
No, actually the complete opposite, Danica, with temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s. Heading into the rest of the week, and the weather looking calm as can be. Temperatures have dipped into the 50s in some spots to the north and west of Madison already at the 10 o'clock hour. 61 in Madison, 64 in Janesville. Dew points are in the mid to upper 50s, a couple of 60s here and there, but generally very comfortable air sticking with us into tomorrow. Madison on the Edgewater Skycam looking at mostly clear skies, allowing those temperatures to cool off quickly tonight. Dew point at 57. and that comfortable air lasting into the weekend. Your day planner for tomorrow after starting off in the mid-50s, so pretty comfortable to start off our Wednesday morning. Highs will be in the upper 70s with plenty of sunshine. I'll let you know when thunderstorms do return to the forecast in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
The Greene County Coroner's Office has released the names of the 2 people killed yesterday in a multi-vehicle crash along Highway 69 near Monroe. 71-year-old Jean Carroll and 72-year-old Cynthia Carroll are both from Freeport, Illinois. Police say a truck rear-ended another vehicle, which sent it into oncoming traffic where it collided with the motorcycle. The highway was closed for about 10 hours while officers were on scene.
Madison police are still looking for a teenager after a pair of hit and runs yesterday on the city's north side, one involving a school bus. Officers did arrest 17-year-old DeMonte Tillman on multiple charges after he was allegedly caught driving a stolen SUV right around 4:30 yesterday afternoon. Police say Tillman hit a school bus along School Road in front of Mendota Elementary School and then drove off. At least one child was on board that bus. Police took Tillman into custody at a nearby gas station. They say he stole the SUV from a laundromat just a few blocks away.
It's not just stolen cars. There are a lot of other crimes associated with this crime spree. And as I've told people, this has been one of the top priorities, if not the top priority for the City of Madison Police Department to put an end to this.
Officers say as Tillman drove away from the elementary school, he was driving alongside a Chevy Impala. Both cars reportedly sped through the neighborhood before the Impala T-boned another car and drove away, causing a second hit and run just minutes after the crash with the bus. Police say they are still looking for the 16-year-old they believe was driving that car.
The Chippewa County Sheriff's Office is drawing similarities between a case yesterday where 5 people were killed and the Jamie Kloss abduction. Today, Sheriff Jim Kowalczyk says the suspect, Richie German Jr., killed 3 of his family members before going to a woman's house who he says he never met. There, German blew the door open with a shotgun, shot her and her parents before taking his own life.
In the Kloss investigation, the door was breached, a shotgun was used, Mr. Kloss was shot, Mrs. Kloss was shot. Very fortunate in this case is that the Vangs are going to survive from their injuries, but it could have been very, very similar in nature as to what happened. And again, I'm not saying that that was the motive, but again, it's just unlikely that some of the same incidents up in Barron County happened in Chippewa County.
The victims are the suspect's mother, brother, and 8-year-old nephew. At the second home, 24-year-old Laylee Vang was killed and her parents were shot, but will survive. The sheriff said the suspect had texted Vang asking about a personal relationship, but she texted back saying, quote, "I don't know you," end quote. The sheriff says there's no evidence they had ever met.
New tonight, 2 people are dead and 2 others are injured following a workplace shooting at a Walmart in Mississippi. This happened just across the border with Tennessee, about 15 miles south of Memphis. Both victims were employees there. The suspect is identified as Martez Abram, a 39-year-old former employee. Abram was suspended from work on Saturday and then fired yesterday after bringing a knife to work and showing it to a customer. Police shot him down in the parking lot, but he is expected to survive. The local chapter of the American Red Cross is paying people willing to donate blood and platelets over the next month. Through August 29th, anyone who gives blood will receive a $5 Amazon gift card. The organization says it is dealing with an emergency blood shortage.
North Korea has fired several unidentified projectiles off its east coast tonight. However, the South Korean government says it isn't immediately known exactly what was fired. Just last Thursday, North Korea launched 2 missiles into the sea. Experts say it appears the test wasn't an attempt to put pressure on the U.S. ahead of possible continued nuclear talks. The first of 2 Democratic presidential debates this week has just wrapped up in Detroit, Michigan. They're being held at the historic Fox Theater, which first opened in 1828. The candidates tonight touched on many issues ranging from health care, immigration reform, gun violence, and climate change. Because there are so many candidates, 10 more will take the same stage tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central.
Opponents of a controversial law in California are preparing to challenge that legislation in court after the governor signed it today. That law would require any presidential or state gubernatorial candidates to release 5 years of tax returns in order to be placed on the primary ballot. Data from the National Conference of State Legislatures shows at least 7 other states with similar pending bills. President Trump will travel to Florida tomorrow to sign a bill promoting technical education and to hold a rally at the state fairgrounds there. Today, the president was in Jamestown, Virginia, marking the 400th anniversary of the rise of democracy in the United States. His participation led to some politicians opting out of the event, specifically protesting the president's recent tweets about Baltimore and Congressman Elijah Cummings. Meanwhile, at the site of one of the president's most contentious plans, seesaws are now installed along the U.S.-Mexico border between the border fence so kids can play on both sides together. These are in Sunland Park, New Mexico, which is separated by a steel fence from Ciudad Juarez, Mexico. Professors from UC Berkeley and San Jose State University came up with this idea that is 10 years ago, and they are finally becoming a reality.
The CrossFit Games are expected to bring in an estimated $10 million in direct consumer spending on things like goods, restaurants, and hotels. Officials say in lodging alone, the money brought into Madison is the equivalent of 7 Badger home football games. This event is not only bringing in millions, it's also putting Madison on the world stage with athletes from as far as India and Kenya participating. Some Madison restaurants are offering limited time menus for this week to cater to those athletes looking for some healthy, nutritious options. We spoke to a few restaurants to see what they have.
Got a special menu here for the CrossFit Games that we created just for the athletes that we can kind of create, get all the nutrients that they need. So we have the Amsterdamer skillet, the broccoli and kale Caesar salad, a Wisconsin bison burger, a Red Devil rubbed roasted chicken thighs, and a seasonal fruit and yogurt.
More restaurant options with special menus can be found on our website, channel3000.com, and the games start on Thursday. Still to come, your forecast for the rest of the week, including the next chances for rain.
But first, some superheroes bring some well-deserved smiles to patients at a Madison hospital. That story is up next. Welcome back. The new Ian's Pizza location at Garver Feed Mill is officially back open. Opening day was last week, Wednesday, but managers had to shut down after running out of ingredients during a busy lunch rush. The prep oven that's used to make dough also broke down, so the staff closed until today to make sure everything was in good working order. A 78-year-old General Motors transmission plant in Warren, Michigan is halting production this week.
The Detroit area plant is one of 5 in North America that GM announced would suspend operations as part of the company's business transformation. GM plans to build fewer sedans and more trucks and SUVs while also shifting to more electric options. The Warren plant opened in 1941 and was owned by GM since 1958. It produces 6-speed transmissions for 2 sedans that are being discontinued. One of the world's biggest hotel chains is bidding goodbye to travel-sized toiletries in its rooms. The decision affects Intercontinental Group, which owns Holiday Inn, Crowne Plaza, and Kimpton Hotels. The company says it will get rid of those miniature-sized plastic bottles of shampoo, conditioner, and bath gel. Instead, they will be replaced with bulk-sized toiletries in rooms by 2021. The goal is to cut down on the company's plastic waste footprint.
Rapper Lil Nas X is celebrating a major success tonight after the artist's viral hit Old Town Road broke a Billboard record for most consecutive weeks at #1. He accomplished that feat this week as his country trap song marks its 17th week on the top of the Hot 100 chart. Mariah Carey's One Sweet Day set that record back in 1996 at 16 weeks, and then international hit Despacito tied that 16-week record in 2017. You're welcome for that song being in your head now all night long. More local news now as superheroes are helping brighten the day for kids at the American Family Children's Hospital. Batman, Spider-Man, Captain America, they all made appearances, rappelling from the rooftops to wash windows and wave to the kids and parents inside. Every year, employees from Al's window cleaning company dress up to boost the spirits for children's hospitals around the state. This is the first year, though, for American Family Children's Hospital.
You know, so not only are they fighting crime, they can also clean windows. That's good.
That
Have
is
a backup
good.
plan just in case.
Exactly, and especially on a day like today when there's so much sunshine to let in. Right?
Yeah, a lot of smiles with that story. A lot of smiles with the weather today with temperatures in the upper 70s. Plenty of sunshine, just so comfortable outside. It's a joy of a forecast. So we had to show a picture from Lake Joy in Belmont, Lafayette County. Kimmy, thank you so much for sending this in. Love the color there. Not too many clouds. So a lot of times when we don't have too many clouds in the sky, it's tough to get a really picturesque sunset. Well, don't tell Mother Nature what to do because she'll prove you wrong, that's for sure. Doppler track is quiet across much of southern Wisconsin. I expect it to remain that way for the foreseeable future. Our closest hint of rain is well to the south and west, closer to Omaha, but this system is tracking to the south and east and won't affect us. High pressure keeping all the bad stuff away. This is the good place as we head into the next couple of days with plenty of sunshine on the way. So the rain that we picked up yesterday was about 0.2 inches in Madison. So we'll most likely, 99% sure on this one, finish with about 5 3/4 of an inch worth of rain for the month of July. So about 1.5 inches ahead of what we would typically expect for the 7th month of the year. I think we're starting off August on Thursday on a dry note with really just a couple of chances for showers and storms on our 10-day forecast. Platteville on our Queen Bee Radio Skycam, no rain there. And really, we're not going to see much except for sunshine, maybe a few clouds here and there over the next couple of days. Madison, the Edgewater Skycam, similar story, mostly clear skies tonight. The almanac for today, our high was 77 degrees, so about 5 degrees below normal for this time of year. And temperatures were in the lower 60s this morning. So temperatures right now are already in the lower 60s, so we'll probably dip into the 50s before the night is over. And as we start tomorrow morning, great sleeping weather on the way with temperatures and dew point temperatures in the 50s. So that is really comfy air that is sticking around. And on our dew point comfort meter, no longer we're talking about uncomfortable tropical air or even don't talk to me air. We are in the comfortable section for the foreseeable future. Here is your futurecast forecast for the overnight hours. Mostly clear and comfy. Temps in the mid-50s. Tomorrow we'll make another run into the upper 70s under mostly sunny skies. Just really, really pleasant conditions outside. We need to hang on to this weather for as long as possible. On future track, not really much in the way of clouds showing up overnight, dipping into the mid-50s, so that allows all of that heat that visited us during the daytime hours to kind of escape back into the atmosphere at night. So we will be a little bit on the cool side over the next couple of nights. I think highs in the upper 70s for Wednesday. On Thursday, we'll be a little bit closer to 80 degrees, but still feeling comfortable. Remember, as we start August on Thursday, typically we're talking about temperatures in the low 80s, so pretty close to normal for this time of year. A little bit warmer as we head into the weekend, and maybe a few more clouds as well, but still feeling very, very nice. We're not looking at anything crazy as far as humidity goes, which is good news. As we head into the start of the work week next week, some showers and storms possible late on Monday, then another dry stretch of weather with temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s on the way for the middle of next week. Possibly some showers and storms by next Friday.
That's not bad compared to what we had a couple weeks ago. We're
We'll
all good.
take this every day.
Thank you.
Matt LaFleur isn't all that happy with the Packers' offense so far in training camp. That story's coming up in sports.
Major League Baseball trading deadline is tomorrow afternoon. No deals for the Brewers yet tonight, but we'll see. The Brewers begin a 9-game road trip tonight in Oakland. Adrian Hauser gets the start for Milwaukee. He was doing all right until the bottom of the third inning. That's when Matt Olson hits one to the gap. Jurickson Profar could have walked home, but he runs anyway to be safe. Right now it's in the fourth, now the fifth. It's the A's 1, Brewers nothing. In St. Louis, Cardinals lead the Cubs 2-1 in the ninth. Remember that Cleveland Indians pitcher who fired the ball into the center field fence when he was taken out of the game the other day? Well, Trevor Bauer was traded tonight. A 3-way deal sends Bauer to the Cincinnati Reds. San Diego gets prospect Traylor Trammell, and the Indians get Yasiel Puig and pitcher Logan Allen. Madison Mallards had the day off yesterday. Back to work tonight in Wausau. The Mallards scored 2 in the top of the ninth to beat the Wisconsin Woodchucks 4-3. The Mallards are back home tomorrow night, 6:05 first pitch against the Kalamazoo Jackrabbits. Packers had yesterday off too, and today it sounded like they had a little trouble getting back into the swing of things, especially the offense. Head coach Matt LaFleur didn't like what he saw, as most everyone who's watching practice thinks the defense is ahead of the offense right now. LaFleur says his offense has to hurry up and decide who it wants to be.
I just don't like the sloppiness in terms of, you know, you can always control your effort. Some of the other stuff's out of your control, but you can control your effort. You can control pre-snap penalties, the communication, leaving a guy uncovered, the quarterback-center exchange. It just needs to be better.
It's the end of July and almost the end of summer, so that means it's time for the annual All-City Swimming and Diving Meets this week before one last vacation before school starts. The diving meet wrapped up at Ridgewood Pool today. That's A.J. Beard showing off his medal for winning the 10 and under boys division today. This is the 15 to 19-year-old girls division. Leah Mickelson, representing the Shorewood Sharks, does a nice job, finishes second. The winner is Monona's Trinity McNall, and she's used to winning things. She was the WIA Division II state diving champion last November. McNall will be a junior at Monona Grove High School this fall. Other age group winners today include High Point's Isaac Roush and 15 to 19 boys. In the 10 and under crowd, Michaela McQueenie of Monona is the girls champion and Beard the boys winner. High Point, the team winner for diving. The All-City Swim Meet at Westside Pool is Friday through Sunday. That's right, Friday through Sunday this year only. They're trying to lessen the impact of traffic around Westside Pool by shifting it more to the weekend. Badger football starts this week. Tomorrow is Media Day, Family Fun Night, 6 to 8 tomorrow night at Camp Randall. First practice of fall camp is Thursday morning. And the U.S. women's national soccer team will be looking for a new head coach. Jill Ellis is the only coach to win multiple Women's World Cups, and she has a career record of 102 wins, 7 losses, 18 draws. Ellis, though, wants to spend more time with her daughter, who's in high school, and Ellis says the world champions need a fresh perspective. And we'll be right back.
Went short.
Just keep it coming, Dave. I don't know what else to say.
I'm Mr. Wonderful right now, Mr. Popular with weather like this. Plenty of sunshine over the next couple of days. Maybe a few more clouds towards the weekend. Temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s. Next chance of rain arrives on Monday.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.